What is up? Sean Ames here from Heart of America FPV. I'm about to do something that I do not suggest you do in any manner, any shape, form. Yeah, don't do it. This is a Weller WES51 soldering iron. The other night, my daughter made brownies, and everyone was asleep, and I had a moment of weakness, and I went back and I got myself another brownie. I also poured myself, I've got this bad habit of like pouring and drinking the largest glasses of milk you've ever seen. Probably like 32 ounces of milk. And I brought it back to my desk doing some drone work, and I literally dropped a glass of milk on my desk. It got all over tons of tools. No real electronics got wet. My soldering setup didn't get super wet. It was on, and then I noticed when I started to clean up that it was off and it was dead. It would not respond to anything. So I took it apart. I was expecting to see inside some sort of like obvious fuse. I have this because I work on drones. I'm not an electronics person. Obviously, most people that have an iron like this probably have an electronics background. That is not me. I just build and race drones, and you gotta have a good soldering iron. I got it open. I didn't see like an obvious fuse. There's no fuse on like the mains in. And trying to figure out how to repair it, there's a lot of videos about how some people think this iron is actually super dangerous because there's not a fuse on the mains in. Long story short, I didn't see like an obvious fuse. However, through the Google sphere, I did recognize that this little green thing on the back of this PCB, and this is like the front panel, it goes like this. And this little green component there, I'm guessing since it's green that it's a 30 amp fuse of some sort. Yeah, I don't suggest this, but this is the fuse I have on hand. This is a 25 amp blade style fuse, and this is dead, so I'm 100% certain this is a fuse of some sort. I'm also 100% certain that it is dead. There's no continuity. I checked it with that there multimeter. So I'm gonna take that off, do some shoddy soldering to this blade fuse, see if I can fix it and repair my iron. I already ordered a new one. I don't know, I'd hate to sell this one. Maybe I'll sell it to someone, but I'll show them this video, like put this sucker on a protected outlet of some kind if you buy it from me. So get that off of there and then figure out how we're gonna get that in there. So hey, there we go. That's that little fuse. One of the strangest little fuses I've ever seen, but I was able to confirm that is a fuse. So alright, so I got pretty deep into this, but I decided I'm going to rework it all. First off, the through-hole pads on the backside ended up being a little too difficult for me to solder to. There's just not enough pad there for this to grip onto, and one side of this is going to have, you know, a pretty good amount of power, up to 30 amps, 25 amps at least. I don't want it to break loose of that solder pad and then touch something in there and cause a fire. So I flipped it over and found out that these rectangular pads down here, you got the like round pad, that's the through holes, and then just inside of each of the round through hole solder points are those rectangular pads. The rectangular pads are directly connected to those through hole pads. I'm gonna connect this directly to those rectangular pads, but also I'm gonna switch to a thinner gauge of wire. What I tried was 14 gauge. This is 20 gauge. I wish I had like 16 gauge because I feel like this might be a little weak, but then when I compare it to the wire that's in the fuse, I'm like, well, maybe it's good enough for this short little length. So we're gonna run with it. The big thing is whether it's me or whoever uses this iron in the future, make sure you turn it off if you're not directly near it. I feel like I'm making this more complicated than I should. Put some heat shrink on this fuse, just kind of keep it all together. Hate for one of those wires to come loose. There's my little fuse pigtail situation. Get her done here. Alright, fresh solder to these pads. Okay. Definitely going better than it did on the back side. A little sketchy here. There we go. So blade fuse and all of that. I'm gonna kind of put it together-ish, just so like I know that nothing's touching. It shouldn't be touching. So I got the PCB kind of reassembled in there. I'm gonna be pretty careful while I do this, but I'm going to plug this into a power strip. Since that wouldn't focus, this is what I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna be super careful. I've got it kind of reassembled. Everything's clear. My hands are clear of it. I'm gonna plug it into a surge protector that's right back here. Okay. Now I'm gonna flip the power switch. And nada, but the iron's not plugged into it, so let's see if that matters. So we're plugged in. I had to plug in the iron to get it to do anything, but watch. So I'm cautiously watching for smoke, touching the iron to the sponge. It's getting hot, so that's good. I think I fixed it. I think I actually fixed it. That's incredible. Yeah, hopefully this helped you out. Like I said, I don't suggest anything that I did. Either the methods or the knowledge, none of it. Figure it out for yourself, but maybe this will help get you in the right direction. Maybe you know more than me, and this just shows you that that something like this could work. I don't know. Nonetheless, I hope it was helpful to you guys. Thanks for checking it out. We'll catch you next time on Heart of America FPV. Later.